Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Sammy McLeod. This is my Pro Showcase look at MotoGP 20. This was a Stadia Pro game that dropped earlier today on 1st of June. I'm going to go in, give it a quick first look, and see how well I go. So, I've already claimed it's part of my profile, my Stadia Pro subscription. Just simple as that, click the button, you're already into the game. Make sure you read the important safety information from Stadia. And let's get into the game. This is a racing game based on the MotoGP motorbike racing series from last year. It was released about a year ago on Stadia. Always said if it went on sale I'd buy it. As it never went on sale, I didn't end up buying it, but it has gone on to Stadia Pro now. So if you're subscribed to Stadia Pro or you want a 30-day free trial, you can test out this game on Stadia. No downloads, no updates, no installs. So nice little welcome screen there. Just do some of these screen settings. The dark logo and video in the image should be very visible. So that's it when it's really high. And drop it down to about there. That's roughly where I can see it. Motion blur, we'll keep that high. High values allow a greater sense of speed but decrease game performance. So let's keep it at high. Audio optimization. I'm wearing some headphones. There's normally an option for that. Stereo and dynamic range. So difference between loud and quiet sounds. Let's go for extended. Alright, have the music blasting through my ear. Now, do I want easy, medium, or hard difficulty? Now, I'm going to let you in a secret. This isn't the first time I've played MotoGP 20. I have played it on xCloud in the past, and I did really struggle with it. I'm going to try and do a little bit better today. I know kind of where I went wrong, but I'm going to stick it on easy because this game is a lot more difficult. I think we'll just go with the standard name for the moment. Don't want to waste any time typing everything in. One thing I will do though is number 19 for the majority of my racing games when I'm allowed to choose the number. That says Scotland, which means there's probably going to be an England. Yep. So always difficult to know whether they go for England. Oh, Great Britain. Okay, I'll go with that. Continue. Accept privacy policy. Make sure you've read it and understand it, of course. Let's get into the game. So we have various different modes. We've got the quick modes, the career mode, of course, multiplayer. There's some add-ons. You can buy some DLC. I believe the DLC is actually fairly reasonable. It's only about £4 in the UK, which when you've got the game for free, kind of consider that as a justifiable expense. I'm not going to go through that at the moment. Customization, nothing much there. I'm going to go straight into quick modes and try a new Grand Prix. So race options, we'll go for a 3-lap race. The AI difficulty, we'll turn it down a little bit further. That's on easy now, so we'll put it at 25%. Random weather conditions, bike damage, we'll put it on. Manual start management, I'm going to keep it on. That's if you race an F1 2020, there's manual and automatic starts. That's basically what that will be. Changing the drive. This is probably the best thing about MotoGP 20 for me. With F1 2020, you've got the F1 cars and the F2 cars as well, the junior formulae. In MotoGP, you've got just about everything that travels around the MotoGP circuits. It's not just the MotoGP bikes. You've got Moto2, Moto3, the Moto E, which is the electric bikes. They've been recently added in real life, and they're now in the game as well. You've got the Rookies Cup, the 4-stroke MotoGP, and the 500cc 2-stroke engines. These all were historical content, so that's similar in F1. You've got the old McLarens, Schumacher cars. You've got the old motorbikes there. To make it nice and simple, I'm going to go for MotoGP bikes. This is what the majority of people will be wanting to race. I'm going to race as... Actually, I'll do Cal Crutch though. Racing for Honda. Back in the day, I remember him racing for Yamaha, and he always used to crash. So maybe that's kind of how it's going to work now. Riding aids. This could be interesting. So you can go assisted, normal, or pro. I'm going to go with assisted. Automatic brakes. I'm going to turn that on. Joint brakes. You won't. Oh yeah, no. Independent front and rear braking on MotoGP bikes. Off-track help. Yep, I want an easy to control bike when I'm off the track. Trajectory aids. Ideal. Yep, I'll go for ideal. Semi-automatically. I believe that means that I can override if I want to. I'm not going to. Rewinds, which is much like flashbacks you use in single player F1, and electronics assist. So all bikes in any class and year will have electronics control in the current MotoGP levels. And if you choose real, then all historic bikes will use the electronic control technology used in their time. So if you want the authentic experience of some of the older bikes, that's going to be absolutely brilliant to use. I'm going to keep it assisted. I honestly cannot tell you how important that would be. Keep it assisted. So I'm going to turn practice off. I'm going to keep Q1 and Q2 on, just to give some idea for practice of the Austrian track. So people will know that from, I believe it's on grid F1 2020. It's the same track, it's just going to look, the characteristics are going to be a little bit different because you're riding it on a motorbike. Now you'll start to see what I mean in a minute. Just loading there, it was stuck on 38%, there we go, halfway through.
You live from the Red Bull Ring. Everything is ready here for the first qualifying session. This session gives riders who didn't make the grade in the free practices another chance.
I didn't make the grade in the free practices, so there is a step-up system in MotoGP qualifying, set on the practice sessions. The fastest 10 or 12 drivers will go straight into Q2. All the other drivers have to go into Q1, and the fastest 2 drivers from Q1 will join the rest of the races in Q2. Other than that, qualifying works just the same. So you can see these are the drivers in Q2, and it says there the 2 fastest riders go to Q2. I explained that for you. I could have just read it off the screen. Right. It will probably ask me to do a little bit on setup. I don't know. Track engineer. Let's go guided setup. Where's the issue? Let's go on corners. Handling, high response. I've got no idea what they're doing. What even I'm answering questions with. I've got no idea. But let's just go to the track. We'll go for a flying start. I don't really want to go for another lap. And he's away. Already I don't like the camera view, so let's change that. This is the driver's eye view. I really don't like that. Oh no. Looks like driver's eye view is what I've got. So you see that I was already very late in turning. Right. So the trick is, as far as I've been able to work out, the bikes don't turn in the same way as F1 cars do. You haven't got a wheel. They turn by the angle lean, or basically how close the rider's knee is to the track. Obviously, the closer it is, the tighter they'll turn. That means to go in a straight line, you've got to have the bike pointing the right direction at the point where you're standing the bike straight up. It is a very different turning mechanism, and occasionally, like that, you do clash. So I'm gonna hit rewind mode. I didn't realise it was. I thought it was going to play a bit more. There you go. Cal Crutchlow was normally crashing when I watched him in real life, so let's go with that. Onto the grass. Try not to turn on the grass. Obviously, there's less grip as you get off the track. There's a lot less grip around the outside of that corner, which doesn't bode well for me. I'm not going to be finishing in the top 2 in this session. Using a bit of power to bring the back wheel round. Wide there, and I'm going to end up being a bit wide there, despite the fact I look tight on entry. That's very confusing. So there you go. That was a 1 minute 33. Now, obviously this is a lot slower than you see the F1 cars have done. That's mostly because where the F1 cars have 4 tyres touching the road, these only have 2, of course, they're bikes. But also because they're smaller, you've got much less surface area or parts of the bike to put wings on. The wings are what creates downforce, and that's what makes it go fast. That's what makes the F1 cars go fast, particularly through some of the flat out corners you get in the middle of the ramp. That's a shame. I thought I was doing quite well on that one. So back, and then brake. That was a little bit better. Stand bike up. Brake. Don't want to brake whilst I'm turning. Don't want to accelerate whilst I'm on the gravel. This is quite a lot of concentration I need to use just to get bike to go around the corners. And those of you would have noticed I've been tweeting about this game coming to Stadia Pro, in that I'm concerned. This, as someone who, I've made it no secret, I love the F1 games. I've hosted the Stadia GP on Untitled Chapter games. That was a 129. Whoa! It was underneath me. Ref! The bat was underneath me. Right, so I thought that was quite good. I've got no idea what this TCS and AW thing is. Whoa! I'll go wide. You see he's there. What on earth is he doing? Let's be perfect again. He's nice flowed up, but he's going slow on corners, and I've crashed again. Breaking out of the rewind. Kick of oversteer because I had a back wheel on the curb. See, I know why I'm doing all these things. What I can't do is rectify them. Oh, come on, get ahead of me. I'm trying to go in the pit lane. Which is there. And I've crashed going into the pit lane. Apparently that puts it on autopilot and I'm through. So I've got a feeling my 129.9 might have meant that I've set the difficulty level on the opponent's bike a little bit too low. I thought I was okay.
We're back from the pit lane where the rider is returning to his team. He probably
So that worked very well. You can see I'm 2 seconds ahead. So holding down Y to just make the time go faster a little bit, because you know I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes. I've done my lap. Apparently you've got to hold down Y the time you want it to fast forward. You let go of Y, it just goes straight back to 1. But there you go.
The riders in the top 2 positions will be able to race for pole in the second round.
Did quite well there, 129.9 against a 132.1 for that. So as it turns out, I've got a chance to run for pole. Now, I'm not going to do that. You've seen me go for qualifying lap, through what I'm like. One thing I might say is that if you think that you're better than me, based on what you've seen, then definitely accept the difficulty level at 25%. That's an honest mistake. I had no idea exactly what I was going to be doing. Right, Marquez is in this. Wow. Wasn't in the actual MotoGP 20, it'll be real life one. But I'm gonna get a crack. I'm gonna. I said I was. So let's see if we can do one lap. I'm gonna see if I can do one without any rewinds this time. Dear, that was actually quite good. See, but I've got the racing line turned on, so that blue line that I'm nowhere near is the line that I should be on. It goes orange and red, much like the racing line in F1 2020 does. And I didn't mean to cut across there. I'm sorry. I cut across someone coming out the pit lane. They're going to be very angry at me. In the steward's room. Get back to the outside of the corner and then turn it. Screw it up nice and easy, nice and easy, nice and easy. There we go. Down towards turn 4. Now in the F1, this is where Alexander Albon and Lewis Hamilton clashed during one of the F1 races here last year, and I've crashed. Which means I am going to use a rewind, because you see there, Quattuaro, which is how you pronounce that apparently. Let's just say 1 minute 31.9. Now, you see, we know from my Q2 that time I had a 129. I'm going to cross the line, and it's going to be reasonably close to that 131.9. Actually, there we go, 130.5, which is more than enough to get me into provisional pole position, as they say. I'm going to go straight into the pits, and then we'll go to the live session. Fast forward, we'll see how close everyone else gets. So Quattuaro is there on a 131.6. Looks like that could be the fastest he does. Marc Marquez also on a 31.6. There you go, pole.
And we can finally see the grid positions that await us in tomorrow's grind.
So what I'm going to do, if I can, I'm going to try and up the difficulty for the race, because otherwise this is going to be a very easy race for me. So X for options, controls configuration, nope. Image, no, that's the settings we had right at the start. Heads up display, don't think I had much on that. Audio, no, I don't think I've got much of that either. So I don't think I can change the difficulty. That's why driving aids, no. So it looks like I could be resigned to
the riders have just completed.
Be resigned to a very easy race win here. I'll lose position off the line to, is that Marquez? I've lost a few more positions off the first corner. That's a terrible start, as it turns out. And a 3-lap race. But accelerating out of the corner, and through there, and yeah, I thought that might happen. The closing speeds when you're racing at 25% difficulty is almost ludicrous. You see there, Rossi got ahead of me. That, you know, Rossi, that is the... Oh, come on, Sammy, you're better than this. I think I punted someone off on the side. I don't know. I can't actually... See, normally I'd use one of the analog sticks to look left or right or behind me. It doesn't seem to have that in this camera view. But I don't want to change the camera angles. Quite well, Rossi goes straight underneath me. Looking at that corner, and then they're slow throughout, and I rub shoulders with Rossi. Somehow he stays on. Okay, whoa! That was a high side on, well, it was Davizio, so it's not anymore, and I've crashed again because I was too busy looking at something else. This is kind of demonstrating how difficult it is to race a MotoGP bike, even in the normal situation. But I've got stuff I'm trying to look at on the screen, trying to call out at the same time. I'm going to go round the outside of Marquez, then brake for the corner, then turn in. We're slightly wide on the apex, but I don't think it matters. We clip the curb on the exit. Also, that doesn't matter too much. Nope, that's the rewind button. I'm trying to work out what the look behind button is. Oh, there you go. Good bit of information there telling me I'm 1.9 seconds ahead of Marquez. And very wide, the other side of the curb basically, through that corner. Back wheel squaring. I don't have the grip I want from the back wheel, but of course I am used to having two back wheels. This is... Can you put a wheel there? I don't think you can like that. You might be able to do one if you just boot the throttle. Yeah, I think that was a wheelie. Hopefully you'll get one in the victory graphics, which you should be seeing in about a minute and a half. As long as I don't make any massive mistakes. Famous last words, I know. Oh, right in the grass. So this, I should clarify, I'm not brilliant at this. You saw me at the start. I moved the difficulty level from 40% down to 25, thinking that it would still give me a difficult run. As it turns out, it's set it far too easy for me. I am in no way brilliant at this game because I cannot judge the turning points correctly with the angle on the lean. So I've come through to win this, but I'm not particularly brilliant at it. I'm going to come through the final corner. Get a decent exit out of that final corner actually, and then run close to the pit wall. It's a win for Cal Crutchlow. There you go. 28.9 is our fast lap. There you go, that was a first look at MotoGP 2020. So you can see there, I'm a winner in the game, in the race. Is it a winner in my books? I have to say no. This is a very difficult game to master, and you saw me put the difficulty level down as easy as I possibly could in terms of how easy the bike is to ride and how easy any bikes are to ride. I might have dominated the race, but it was still a very difficult bike to drive. You saw me struggling through the majority of corners. I really couldn't get that. Can I learn how to drive a car? How to drive a bike properly? Probably, yes. I believe anyone can. I have a rough idea on how to start with that, and then there'll be skills I can read up on. Plenty of YouTube videos out there I can watch, I'm sure. Is that something that everyone's going to do? I doubt that. Stay tuned for more. I've got Stadia Pro Showcase games coming up for the other 3 games that came out this month. And I'm sure you'll see me talking about MotoGP 20 later on either any of my live streams or over at Cloud for Chats of Games, or indeed on Twitter on my social medias. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys soon.